All right, welcome back, everybody. Once again, Dave Broadbent, you're stuck with me for another session, but we have a great panel here like Ryan led into before. We're going to be talking about SkillsUSA. We're really fortunate to have Chelle Travis from SkillsUSA, Joe Maniscalco from Yamaha, and Rob Berenwick should be on the screen. There he is, from Ocean County Votech School. So let's just start off with a little bit of intro. So Chelle, you want to just tell us a little about yourself and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today to talk about SkillsUSA, an organization that I have been truly passionate about for over 20 years. I had the pleasure of serving as SkillsUSA's executive director. I come from a background in CTE of over 20 years in education, from an advisor to a state director of SkillsUSA. And so I'm very excited to be with this group today and to talk to you a little bit more about our organization.
All right, thank you, Chelle. Joe, you want to give us a little intro?
Yes, thank you, and thanks for having me. Joe Maniscalco, Yamaha Marine Service Division Manager. I've been with Yamaha 18 years now. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we only got to boat maybe 4 months out of the year unless you really liked being cold. But had a great opportunity to start at an early age under an apprenticeship program right out of high school. And then just continued on the path of being a technician, moved to the Panhandle of Florida, where saltwater was something new to me. And I realized that it was a great opportunity to continue to pursue that career in the marine technician field. I was a shop foreman where I was able to start my own apprenticeship program at a dealership, and then moved to a service manager's position in Orange Beach, Alabama, where again I was able to continue apprenticeship programs. And one of my apprentices actually went to work for Yamaha, where I finally had an opportunity to come work for Yamaha as a district service rep. And then I was able to move through different opportunities here to where I was finally in 2014 given the opportunity to lead the Marine Service Division, all of service, and just really give opportunities that I saw that we could take for Yamaha to help the marine service side of our business, and it's been awesome. So thank you for having me.
All right, and Rob, I know we've seen your face plenty. You want to give us another quick intro of yourself here?
Sure. I'm from Ocean County Vocational School in Toms River, New Jersey, a big boating community, and I started 26 years ago working with adults at night teaching basic outboard repair. Then I was offered the opportunity to teach with high school students during the day in 2002, so been teaching both since then, and I've had a lot of opportunities to work with adults and students, and really enjoying the education side, and definitely have been involved with SkillsUSA since I started working with the high school students.
All right, sorry, just making sure we can fix a little feedback issue there we have at the office. But we're pretty lucky since we have Chelle here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what SkillsUSA is and why it's important, and then, all the way down to these marine instructors.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for having me, and thank you to all the instructors that have joined us today. Your work truly is life-changing, and I'm so glad to join you today to tell you a little bit more about SkillsUSA. SkillsUSA is a national career and technical student organization. We're truly unique in that we're a partnership of students and teachers and industry nationwide that really we focus on improving the nation's workforce. And I think there's no better time to be part of SkillsUSA and career and technical education than right now. Our nation really truly does need us, and our economic prosperity depends on career and technical education. So it's such an exciting time to be with SkillsUSA. We've served, since 1965, we've served over 14 million members, students, teachers nationwide, and we bring together over 650 national business and industry partners from across the nation. We are in all 50 states and 3 territories. So in the United States, there are plenty of opportunities for teachers and instructors to become engaged with SkillsUSA. And as an instructor and a teacher, one of the things that I really enjoyed about being part of SkillsUSA is SkillsUSA helped me in my classroom, and actually that it was integrated into my classroom instruction, that we had resources and materials that we could integrate to make sure that my students were truly well-rounded in what they needed, the skills that they needed to have, their personal, their workplace, and their technical skills that were grounded in academics. Those skills that our employers, and as an instructor, my employers told me that my students needed day one coming out of their classroom. It really did help me actually integrate those skills into my classroom. And we do that through something called the SkillsUSA framework that has 17 essential elements that we focus on for our students to improve their skills throughout their Skills USA journey. And so those skills were actually validated and designed by our business and industry partners. One of the other great things that I think is so important right now is in this moment in time, we can make a significant improvement on elevating career and technical education and the value of a skilled trade. And what SkillsUSA does is it provides opportunities for recognition, not only for your students and your classroom, but your work as an instructor and within your community. It also provides very valuable opportunities to connect your students with business and industry leaders from across the nation. And I think one of the things that we truly wanted to talk to about, and I think that was originally one of the reasons for this session, was our SkillsUSA Championships, which was really our capstone event. It is, if you've never been to SkillsUSA, the Championships, it's an event like no other. It is truly, right now is a great time to talk about it. It is the Skills Olympics in the United States. The championships are competition events that showcase the best of skills and technical education has to offer from across the nation. Contests actually begin at the local level. So there are contests at the local classroom level, then leading up to regional and state events, on up to those gold medalists from each state come to SkillsUSA's national conference to compete against each other and against themselves and against the clock to actually have our gold national medalists from across the nation. Our SkillsUSA Championships, like I said, it's really an event like no other to really take in, if you've ever seen that. We bring in business and industry partners, and they invest approximately $36 million annually, both with investment of resources and their time. And the event occupies a space. Now, this year, of course, it was virtual, and so glad to be able to give our students from across the nation the opportunity to showcase their skills yet again this year in a little different manner. But normally, it happens in a space that occupies about 31 football fields of skilled competition and that hands-on competition. And that would be the equivalent of about 41 acres all under one roof. So it truly is, it excites me as someone whose passion has always been technical education, just to walk in that room and see these students really performing the skill that they're truly passionate about, and see the instructors that are there supporting them and also providing them with opportunities for professional development while they're there as well. We normally have about 6,500 contestants that participate in 107 different competition events from across the nation. And it takes nearly 2,000 judges from industry and in our industry and our technical committees to actually pull these championships off. And all in all, there are about 20,000 participants in our conference each year. So something to truly be excited about and proud about as we celebrate the success of career and technical education in our students. The philosophy of our championships is really to reward students for excellence in their skill and to involve industry in directly evaluating students' performance and to keep the training and your programs relevant. And I think that is, again, a really a great piece there, is that the these technical standards are designed by business and industry, and they're designed to keep your training programs relevant. So those local championships that you compete, that lead and build on up, are based on those standards. We have a specific competition directly for marine service technology. So it's so exciting to see those students come together. Yes, I see Joe pumping his fist there. Yeah, it just gets me excited to talk about that and to see those students from across the nation. And also there are other occupationally related competitions that other students can participate in that are within your programs. But those technical standards that I was talking about, that can really elevate the training in your program. And they're another tool to use. Not only does it help you prepare your students for the national competitions by telling you what is required, but it actually gives you the competition standards for all the technical skills and academic skills and workplace skills that the students must perform at the national level. And it's what our industry partners say, these are the skills that are important for your students coming out of the classroom. So not only does it prepare you for national competition, state competition, and that local competition, but it prepares your students for the world of work that they're going to enter into. So leading to better completion, better placement, and satisfied business and industry partners as well. So that's just a really brief introduction to some of the things that you truly can be excited about when joining SkillsUSA. There's so much to skills participation, but I'll stop there for just a second.
No, thank you for that. I know it's a big ask to explain what SkillsUSA is, right? So I think you did a fantastic job with that, and thank you for that. I learned from there too. And one of the really neat things about this panel and who we have here so far is we have a manufacturer who we're going to talk next, and then we also have an instructor. And Ryan had mentioned that he had a student who was a bronze medalist. So we've talked about the students a little bit, and now we're kind of seeing how it all trickles down and how you can participate. So Joe, as a manufacturer, how does it fit to you? Tell me about how SkillsUSA works for you and what you guys do.
Well, some background. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the enthusiasm. Normally I do, but I'm like, oh man, this is going to be tough. So I'll give you a little bit of background. The opportunity that I was given to lead Marine service gave me the ability to focus on some of my passions, which my opportunities that were given to me at an early age when I was given an apprenticeship program at 16, still in high school, and the people who gave back to me, my instructors, my mentors at the dealership, were huge, and they really helped me down a career that I absolutely loved. I've never worked a day in my life because I've just loved everything that I've done. But when I was given the opportunity to lead all of Marine service, we had undertaken a major objective to influence the development of technicians in our industry, namely marine technicians for Yamaha, of course. So with that, my team, we started discussing what do we do to explore that? How do we get back to grassroots, which is near and dear to me? And so we started out by, we had participated in SkillsUSA. We supported it as an industry for a long time, even before I became in charge. So that was one of my first field trips, was to go and view the national competition. And I viewed the state competition because it was right here in our backyard. And my training manager was the chairman for the state. So seeing it on a state level was really cool. But it really opened my eyes to how awesome this program was, because, they're bringing the state schools in. So I wanted to go to the nationals. So when I went to the nationals, it's hard to describe. If you've ever been to any kind of major sporting event, it's that times a gazillion. You could go to the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl of our industry for growing technicians. So I was just overwhelmed. And of course, I spent some time in the marine technologies area of competition, which was right next to motorcycle. But you wouldn't have known it was a motorcycle competition. You would have thought it was a Harley Davidson competition. And I was really intrigued to understand why it seemed like a Harley Davidson. And it was cut and dry because Harley believed in it and they dumped into it. I mean, they gave the kitchen sink and the house and everything. And I had Yamaha on my shirt, but they were more than happy to talk to me and begged me, please help, come in, do this. We don't want this to be just Harley. It should be industry. And it was so welcoming. And in the marine side of it, you know, it didn't have strong manufacturer. Volvo Penta was very strong there, but it had some really strong people. ABYC was there, and it had people that really believed in it, that made it there. So we came back, and then we started going around and seeing tech schools. We started visiting all the tech schools that we knew, and we realized right away industry was not supporting our tech schools. There was just scattered support, and it was very weak. That these schools were doing what they could, and it was a lot of times the strength of the instructor and the staff that really made the program what it was. It wasn't industry, and I was ashamed to be industry representative and that we weren't there. So the formula that we came back to was, we're going to attack SkillsUSA. We are going to be the industry that supports SkillsUSA, and we are going to shame the others to not be there. They should be there. And until they get there, it's going to be as much of a Yamaha competition as SkillsUSA would allow us. I'm happy to say that over our due diligence, our training manager, Greg Schneider, is now the Marine Service Technology Chairman. So he gets to help support and bring in those that we can to help support this competition. We were very excited that the national competition was moving from Louisville to Atlanta, Georgia. Unfortunately, something happened in the world that caused a delay. But I'm also happy to say that the things that we've learned and how we became adaptable to it, we were able to support the competition this year remotely. And last year we had to cancel it entirely, and everybody was, sad, but we all understood it. This year they pulled together to do it virtually, and I am so excited to say it's coming to our backyard next year, 2022, Atlanta, Georgia. Watch out. It's going to be amazing. I invite everyone on this. Please come. If you haven't seen it, see it. If you can't come, go to the videos that are made on it. And if you don't get tingly chicken skin and excited about it, watch it again, because it is amazing to see the strength and the power and the passion for what we do right there in a competition. It was incredible. What we've used from industry, like I said, we started trying to figure out grassroots, how to bring industry to our partners out there. What we used SkillsUSA for was driving our tech school partnership program. Started very early on with getting involved with Skills because the really amazing schools were participating in the marine technology, and we were just grabbing cards and names. Please help. What can we do? And they're like, Yamaha. We're like, yes. And so I would go back and just wave my hands to my bosses going, I need money, I need engines, I need this, I need that. And it was just really exciting to see how this thing comes together, and to go to that competition and talk to the industry of growing technicians, which are our instructors and our faculty members at these schools. It was just absolutely amazing. So as an industry, as a manufacturer that supplies product and needs the industry to thrive, that needs technicians, SkillsUSA is the catalyst to bring us all together, celebrate wins, celebrate those students who compete, and give back. Just keep giving back, because the smile I leave from there, and the passion that it gives me to know that we're doing the right thing, it's real evident. And we have a long ways to go as Yamaha. We've only just begun, and I promise you I have the full support of our company to do this. And I just look forward to what the team will do in the future, because it is just so amazing. So
thanks, Joe. Well, then before we get to Rob, I was fortunate enough in February 2020, before something happened, as you said, to judge the New Jersey State competition at the Atlantic City Boat Show with Rob there. And it was really an awesome experience. I would agree with you guys wholeheartedly on that. Rob, you want to talk a little bit about your experience as an instructor and your students from that level?
Sure. I mean, SkillsUSA, I think it is an important part of my program. when new students or parents come in, one of the first things they see in our shop is going to be a bunch of banners that come from SkillsUSA that show anytime any student has won a medal. So there's gold and silver and bronze placements for state championships, and very fortunately we were able to win 2 national championships. So two of my students competed and won at nationals, which was great. So a lot of people coming in don't know what SkillsUSA is, so when they see the banners, they want to know, well, what is that? What do you mean that your students have won these medals? And it's a great way to segue into, what it's about. And from day one, I try to talk to students about SkillsUSA and get them excited. And the competition in New Jersey for us is normally, usually in February. And like you said, this year we did it last year we did it at the Atlantic City Boat Show, which was amazing to have Yamaha and the New Jersey Marine Trades Association support us, and other companies too. It was really great to have that support, because honestly, before that, we didn't have the support. We did it at a state level, but at a school, and it really felt like a mini nationals to me to have it at the boat show and have boat companies there and offer prizes, and to have some of these other people in the industry that are at the show that maybe don't know what a high school vocational school has to offer, even what SkillsUSA was. So I think that was a great way to get it out there, and again, it got more people interested. And once we get the students interested and working on it, it's pretty neat. We'll select a bunch of students who want to do it. Anyone can join Skills, and we work with them. And every Friday I have like Skills Day. So every Friday we work on certain skills they'll have to know for the state competition. And once we get closer, we can only pick 1 or 2 people to go to the state competition. So we have to have an in-house contest, which is fun. And it's we try to narrow it down, and then we have the 2 people that whoever have the best scores will go to the state competition. And when they go to the state competition, it's really cool, because a lot of times it's things they may not even have learned. It's not really it may not even be a practice skill. It's like, okay, you're put on this task and you say, well, hey, I don't even have this engine at my school. I've never even used this tool before. So it's really great to put these students in these situations and see how easily they can figure it out. And it's really great. And I think it gives students a perspective, because, everybody wants to win, but obviously there's only going to be one winner. And I've never had anyone who's gone to any of my state competitions and complain and say, oh my God, that was so horrible. They've always come back with something. So the people that win a medal, and they're very excited. But even the people that didn't win a medal always come back and said, I wanted to win, but I learned a lot. I thought I knew a lot more than I did, or now I realize that I'm not as strong in this area as I thought I was, and so that is it's a humbling experience in a sense, and that part of it, the state competition, is great. At the nationals, it's even more intense. I mean, just to make it to nationals, and I try to tell students all the time, if you're ever in skills, you put that on your resume. And it doesn't matter if you win or not, because even if you get a medal, you're not going to walk into a job interview with a medal around your neck and say, here's why you should hire me, because I got a medal in SkillsUSA. What you're going to get out of it is the experience. And you put on there, I competed at the state contest, or I competed in the national contest. And if your employer doesn't even know what SkillsUSA is, there's your chance to tell them, what you had to do and how you had to train and how you had to compete. And the nice thing about SkillsUSA is that there's a lot of people in our industry that went to tech schools and stuff, and they are familiar with SkillsUSA, and they know what it takes to be involved in SkillsUSA and get to the top. So if you can make it, that's great.
All right, thanks, Rob, for sharing from that angle. And I think now that we've said how great SkillsUSA is, I think we all have agreed to it on that. Why don't you tell us a little about, Chelle, how do you get involved? So can any school do it? Do you need special equipment? What does it take? I think you're muted there, Chelle.
I muted myself. I have national officers here today, so we're so excited actually to be in person, and they were doing a little activity just outside my door. So apologize for that for just a second. But anyway, yes, it is open. We have students in middle schools, high schools, and college post-secondary across the nation. Like I said, every state and 3 territories has a state association. And so it's very simple to get involved. We do have, if you'd like to get a membership kit and more information, if you go to our website, which is just skillsusa.org, you can find information on who your state director is. But also we have a membership hotline that you can call, and they will just automatically talk you through it, give you the membership kit. That number is 844-875-4557, and that will get you to one of our customer care team members that can really help you through that process and make sure that you have all the connections that you need. But it is open to any school and any student to start a local chapter.
Just a quick follow-up. Does this work internationally or just only in the United States?
So SkillsUSA is part. We are a member of World Skills International.
Okay.
So I believe you do have some other institutions that may not be from the United States or our territories. And so if you are involved, there are other organizations that are similar to SkillsUSA. So our students, our gold medalists, do have the opportunity in some areas to then advance on to World Skills International and compete internationally. So we do have World Skills Americas, which has, we're a part of an organization with all of the Americas, and then World Skills International. So if you would like more information, if there are specific countries that you're interested in knowing, you can go to the World Skills International website, or if someone wanted to just contact me as a follow-up to this, I can connect you directly to the executive director or CEO for that World Skills organization, for that member.
Right. Thank you so much for that. And following up with you, Joe, talking about you painted Yamaha until you're blue in the face here. How do other manufacturers get involved? I know you mentioned the shame game, and I'm sure we have some manufacturers out there who may want to get involved. So what do we got to do to get other guys involved there?
Well, you know, as far as involvement, you can go directly, they can go directly to Skills, and Skills would be more than happy to place them into any capacity they can to help, because I've never had Skills turn down help, period. So as far as funding, yes, of course, we always need funding for Skills, but we also need actual physical help to conduct the events, whether it's a state level or whether it's the national competition. This is done by industry. This Skills is the organizer and putting it all together, but it's us, it's the schools that participate in it, but it's the industry that comes in and sets it up and actually does the competition and builds it. So by having all of the industry there, whether it's ABYC, of course, is there, and that helps us judge and do the things. But if we don't have that there, then we've got to fill those gaps. We've got to have, we'll beg ABYC to put more people there. You know, we only have enough. So, you know, anything that they can do to help would be accepted. So by all means, reach out to SkillsUSA. If you're not comfortable a competitor calling a competitor, which you can call us all you want, we have no problem talking about it. We'd love to join hands and walk together in Skills and go to the competition, because to us, we're all there for the same thing. We all need to help this industry thrive, and it's not about selling, it's about growing and giving those opportunities to those who step up and have passion about our industry. All we're doing is helping them path into an opportunity. And really, at the end of the day, it's all about the students that compete and the institutions that bring those students there. It's all about them. We love being able to give the institution prizes, so we like to donate engines to the first and second place winners there of high schools and post-secondary. We like putting our engines that way. I only get so many engines. They don't just give me a whole warehouse of engines to give away to schools. I wish they did. They don't seem to think that's a good idea. But they do give me some. So we try to put those in there to try to entice the schools to come and participate, and of course, prepare their students. And then with that, we love giving them engines and putting those engines into their programs, because those engines turn into experience and exposure to the product, which then gives the competency to send those students off into the industry to succeed. So come on, bring them all on. Everybody, come on, all of you, come on. We're all in this boat together.
Thanks for sharing that, Joe. And if you guys have any questions, the question box is open now, so feel free to type them in. And Rob, tell us a little more from your, the school experience. Is it expensive? Is it hard to budget for? Is the administration receptive? Tell us from your experience a little bit about that.
Well, your administration honestly should be receptive, because I don't know how it is for other states, but in New Jersey, it's a requirement for a CTE program to be part of a CTE service organization, and SkillsUSA fits that bill because they literally have a Marine service program. And also, part of Perkins funding, if you get federal funding, again, that's where you've got to be tied into some type of CTE service organization. So it all ties in together there. So for, I think, administrative point of view, to get federal funding, that might be a great avenue to work on. And it depends on schools. Some schools budget a certain amount for SkillsUSA, but a lot of schools, they fundraise. So the costs for membership are not super high. I don't know the exact amount. And the cost traveling to states and nationals is typically where people or organizations will fundraise to get money for that. There are a lot of schools that get involved and participate, and each area has its unique challenges, and each district has its unique challenges. We go to states, and some people charter a bus, and some people come in cars, and some people stay overnight, and some people are close enough to drive back and forth. So every district within our state has different challenges, and again, nationals being in Atlanta is a little bit further for a lot of people, so that, typically involves, most likely for a lot of people, maybe airfare. But again, I think I think it's really easy to sell what SkillsUSA is to your administration. To me, that's really a no-brainer. And I think that you can sell it to your local industry. So I have reached out whenever we have issues, I should say not issues, but when we need help, maybe with funding or anything, I've reached out to our Marine Trades Association, which in New Jersey has been great. Melissa Danko has been been able to help us with a lot of things, get us any industry help. We've gone out to businesses and asked about SkillsUSA and gotten support, even monetary support from businesses and from our Marine Trades Association. So I think it's just, a matter of networking. And again, I think it's just selling it. I think once you explain what it is and how it benefits students, it's really a no-brainer when you start thinking about it. To start a chapter is pretty easy. I know Chelle talked about that. I started out just as my classroom advisor, where I would work with my students and get them ready. And then after a while, I really enjoyed it so much that I became the building advisor. So now I'm in charge of all the programs in my building. And there are some of the technically skilled programs and also some of the leadership programs where students are doing speeches and they're doing job interviewing and they're doing other leadership contests. And it's really great. It's a great experience. I can't say enough about the experience. And I think if like anything else, it's a program that's got a proven track record. They've been around for a long time. And I think it's very easy to sell to your administration. And easy to, I think, to get funds if you have to do any of the traveling to state or national levels.
Thanks for that, Rob. And Chelle, thank you for sending these links. I've been copying and pasting them into the chat for everyone else, so they can take a look at those. Unless there's any questions, I think let's go around the room and give some final thoughts, and then we'll see if we have any questions, and then we'll close it out. So, Chelle, you have any final thoughts for the group?
Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for having us today. And for all the instructors, thank you for the important work that you do for students across the nation every day, and for business and industry partners. If you do have any questions that aren't answered today, if you would like to know how to join, of course, I've got the membership resources that I dropped in the chat. It is very inexpensive for individual members. There are also opportunities for entire chapters, for entire states, and for entire institutions there as well. And for business and industry partners, thank you again for your participation today. And the work that you do really does help to prepare our nation's workforce, and together we can truly make a difference. If you're interested as an industry partner in becoming a volunteer or in any way becoming involved with SkillsUSA, again, I'll also type my information in the chat. I know it will go out as one of the presenters, but would be glad to actually introduce you to one of my team members that works in the various parts of our organization, and would love to talk to you directly about becoming involved with SkillsUSA. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share this very important program for our students.
Thank you, Chelle. And how about some final thoughts from you, Joe?
Well, I think that helping and growing the minds of our students is one of the most important things that we can do. I know as a father, that is the most important thing I can do for my kids, is to help them be the best that they can be. So from our industry and what we are doing to help those students with successful careers, Skills is just that fun, exciting, really super powerful event that when you see these students walk around the halls and you go in there and you see the pins that they're trying to collect, and then you see the other industries that are supporting this and have supported it for a long time, I hope it tugs at your strings to just keep pouring into Skills. As long as I'm able and they keep me where I'm at, maybe even more opportunities, I want to keep pouring into Skills, and I'm infecting everybody I can, not only at Yamaha, but any opportunity that I can talk about Skills. I'm so happy we're getting back to a face-to-face competition, because really the magic and the power of being in and getting those students to travel there, and their parents and grandparents. I have talked with grandparents. I've talked with aunts and uncles. I've talked with neighbors who took their neighbors' kids to the event, and how powerful it is to them and to those students to be there. And they just talk about just how great this is and how much they love seeing the child or their young adult focused and passionate about something. In our industry, the marine industry, if you're not passionate about it, something's not right, because we've got the catalyst for just excitement and awesomeness, and the momentum that we have in this industry right now. We've got to use it in our advantage to help bring that new workforce in, because everywhere we turn, they're trying to pull the workforce somewhere else. So we should use our advantages of our industry to keep bringing them in. And you'll see, if you go to the national event, how powerful that is and what the other industries are doing. Skills will just make you so excited about what we're doing, and you'll see it all come together. So if you do nothing else, go watch the videos that are on SkillsUSA.org. It's powerful. Watch some of the previous graduations, and just the faces on those students from whatever competition they're in is absolutely incredible. There's so many competency-based competitions there. Just walk around and see them, and it just will make you feel so proud of what we're doing and so proud of the institutions that send those students. We have to get back to the basics in this country. And to me, Skills is the catalyst to pump us up and give us the adrenaline that we need to keep driving for it. So please give it a shot. Take a look at it. We need your help. We need everybody's help. So there is some way you can participate. I guarantee it. So thank you. And it's so great to talk about this. Chelle, it's great seeing you and being able to talk. Thank you so much.
I got to say, Joe, you're giving Chelle a run for her money and the excitement. You were saying you weren't as excited. You're up there, Joe. I got to say.
I know. I think I need to go again now.
Any final thoughts, Rob, before we close it out?
Yeah, I wanted to say thanks to Joe for his enthusiasm. It's nice to hear someone so passionate about Skills, and that's definitely something I just wanted to close with too. Is that when you go to nationals, it's amazing to go there and see all these students. And when you walk around, you see some of the other programs, and you see some of these students who could be in, 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, or even at a post-secondary level. But when you see the high school level students, and you go past specifically the contest where they're creating something like, something as crazy as, masonry or cabinet making, and you see these young men and women making these things, and you're like, oh my God, what skills do they have already at such a young age? Like, it just seems like if they can do this now, and as they grow and they get, just more skills, it would just be amazing. And I just think it's an important part of the industry. And I know in our state to see, the unions and stuff support that. And so when you go to nationals, like Joe said, it is amazing how big it is and how much stuff it's there and how much industry support. And in all honesty, the Marine contest is kind of one of the smaller contests. And so my challenge is, hopefully is some of these other schools and other states will start to get involved, and some more of the industry will get involved, and we can grow the Marine contest and truly make it. I mean, it's great now, but there's always room for improvement. And I would like to see that contest really grow and have a lot more involvement from the manufacturers and the industry, and to see a lot more states get involved and truly make it an even more amazing contest. But yeah, thank you for everyone that was involved. Appreciate their inputs. And that's all, Dave.
All right, thanks, Rob. And I know a lot of people talked about they wanted some networking out of this. This seems like an opportunity for you where there's a big network that's already out there working. So Chelle, thank you very much again for participating today. We really appreciate you taking the time. Joe, always a pleasure to see you. And Rob, you're in the office. So I think I'm going to turn it back over to John in the office somewhere. I might kick you off the podium so we can go over a couple things and then take off. So over to John, wherever he is.